So thank you, and thanks for the opportunity to share a little bit about what Everyone Medicines is doing in this sort of framework of advanced therapies. And really what we're trying to do is think about what does it look like to create these scalable solutions when you're developing therapies, which ultimately will only treat one or a very small number of individuals. So this is a really difficult situation and a difficult group of children to potentially treat, but with a huge opportunity if we're able to think about how we develop medicines which will solve some of these challenges. And really where we are is that we've got probably the scientific technology to think about how we treat these patients. And I think that sits in the realms of gene therapies, ATMPs, cell therapies. And the challenge that we have is not so much the scientific one as you often face when you're developing drugs. It's very much the population that we're trying to treat is far too small to go down the traditional sort of regulatory approval pathway. And the work of Everyone Medicines was really started on the basis of our sort of one of our founders, Julia Vitarello, whose daughter Mila at age 6 was diagnosed with an incredibly rare form of CLN7 Batten's disease, which presents with seizures, loss of mobility, and general rapid deterioration. Julia got connected to Tim Yu at Boston Children's, and within the space of 12 months, Tim had designed and got approved as for compassionate use by the FDA, an individualized drug, which he named Milacin after Mila, which was given to Mila just after 12 months of him first seeing her and being able to work on the sequence. Seizures reduced, she gained back mobility, she was able to smile again and interact with her mum, and actually stayed on drug for about 2 years, by which time she continued then to start to decline again. But Julia, who is a true inspiration if you get to meet her, sort of made it her life's course to think about how do you bring children these drugs in the future so that ultimately children and parents don't have to suffer knowing that there's a potential treatment but not being able to access it through the classical and standard channels of medicines as we know them today. So our vision is to think about when do symptoms start, how do we use genetic sequencing to identify these variants, which are the causative variant, and then develop and deliver a treatment, hopefully within 6 to 12 months, to be able to, of discovering this new variant, to match the patient, directly match to the patient cells that are causing those diseases for that child. They're the two things that we're really going after, and we're trying to pick the easy things to work on initially so that we can work with the regulators on what does this look like as it starts to come through in a regulatory pathway in the future.